Well, greetings, class. I just wanted to take a moment here to talk about some safety issues. The discussion on machine guarding has been fantastic, and I wanted to provide you some input, at least some of my ideas regarding that whole concern. Is that oftentimes when we take a look at machine guarding, some of the problems that we have with that, especially with new manufactured items, is machine guarding appropriate for the machine that we're using, and how that all comes together. That seems to be a problem oftentimes. I went to Sears one time, or maybe I shouldn't say the company I went to, the organization, and I looked at a product and I saw all the safety guards in place, and I started talking to the guy about what I would use this product for. And he would tell me what all the guarding I would have to remove. And I said, well, that doesn't make sense to me, because what I am now exposing myself to this work, the potential of a hazard. And the guy basically said, well, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to work like you want it to work with all these guards in place. I asked the question, why are the guards in place? For legality. Because once you remove that, then that's your responsibility, even though it may not work appropriately with the guards in place. And I, as a system safety engineer, and having worked with some product safety engineers, asking those questions, it always comes down to liability. That's some of the biggest issues that we have regarding the makeup of some of the guards that we have. Now, one example of the guard that was manufactured for that piece of equipment that you had on one of the discussions is very good. It outlines, it really describes what needed to take place in order to make sure you had a safe work environment. Now, I want to tell you a little story, and that'll be it as far as machine guarding is concerned. I came into a base, and an investigation was ensuing because of an individual who had cut his fingers off. And he was in a metal shear in which we had all the guarding in place, we had all the trips, we had all that business there supposed to be, but the individual was able to circumvent the security of that, the safety of it, and they ended up cutting his fingers off. And so doing the investigation, going back and looking at it, and to see what kind of guards were in place. And first thing that, of course, the commander wanted to do is take it out of service. Now, really what we need to do is just make sure that people were trained, and we did a good job safety analysis, and people were trained on it. But along with that, I did some research on this machine guarding issue, and there was another base, another place, in which an individual was using a metal shear and cut his fingers off. And so the safety guy does the investigation and goes and briefs the commander. And he says to the commander, here's how the guy cut his fingers off. And the commander says, I can't see it. There is no way this guy should have been able to cut his fingers off. They went to the site. They went to that piece of equipment, and the safety guy's walking through step by step of how this guy ended up cutting his fingers off, and the safety guy cut his fingers off. And that was one of those cases where, as we looked at it and we went back, well, the commander himself said, okay, I can see where somebody could cut their fingers off. Really stupid, but I can see where somebody cut their fingers off. And it's surprising how many safety people I have run into, quite honestly, who are missing fingers and such. And I'm not going to say that hasn't happened to me. I mean, I do have my fingers. Everything's here. I tell you what, I've had some close calls myself, and a lot of it is, even a seasoned safety professional oftentimes fails to really assess the safety issues. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that you guys had a good product out there, a lot of good discussion. Grades will be up on that in a bit, but I just wanted to kind of share some stuff with you, just so that you have that information for you. And again, just keep it up with the safety stuff, okay? I like a lot of what your discussions are. You're very deep. I don't feel like I can add a whole lot to any of the discussions except read them and just enjoy reading what you guys have to say. And that's really the whole purpose of this, is just you guys getting involved in it and explaining and addressing your concerns and your ideas as far as safety is concerned. So keep up the good work.